Welcome back to Username Nerd News. This is Mad Mikey, and today we're doing part 2 on collecting comic books. I take it you went to the comic book store after the first video. So now you have some new options available to you. You can now start looking online for digital comics if you found a storyline or an artist or any kind of comic books that you enjoy. The plus side to buying online and searching online is that you have more options that may be available than your local comic book store. One new thing with the digital media is the way that they present the comics. You're able to read it on your phone or a tablet or the computer, and it can break it up into panels and kind of hide the stories that you may not be able to hide, or draw your attention down to something that kind of gives away a story when you're reading it on paper. So the downside of buying online digital media is you won't get the investment value back from those books, probably ever. So there's some positives and negatives to when you're buying comic books online. Some of the positives are you can have it immediately, day one issue. 2, you don't have to worry about storage and buying supplies to protect it. So now let's talk about the negatives. 1, you're not going to get the investment back that you put into the comics. 2, you're not supporting your local comic book store, so you may not be able to get the same interest and investments and discounts that you can get when you're supporting a local comic book store. 3, you can have technology-related issues, such as the server being down, the cloud crashing, or maybe you just don't have the internet connection to be able to pull up and read your comic everywhere. So now if you have a subscription, you can actually look at making some changes to it. Say you got a comic book that you've had a couple of series on, and then it changed artist, or it actually changed the writer, or maybe it's just you don't like the storyline anymore. Don't be afraid to talk to your local comic book store and say, hey, I'm not interested in this book, or hey, the artist went to this new book. Can you start adding that to my subscription and remove this one? It's a good way to keep track of things that you like, and it keeps you on a story path instead of paying for things that you decide, I'm not really interested in this. And so it kind of deters you from getting away from comic books. Also, make sure to ask when you go in and pick up your subscriptions to find out about new books that are coming out. This will help add to your collection and will also give you a chance to look into new things that maybe you didn't know you would be interested in. Some advanced tips. Don't be afraid to look in the dollar bin. You can get some of the best deals here and some of the great stories that just have not been picked up mainstream yet. This will give you an opportunity to get a lot of books for a cheap price. This will help to be able to fill in the gaps on the current storylines that you're following for a cheap price. It's a good deal, and there's great art and great comic books even in the dollar bin. While at Planet Comic Con, make sure to look around. Maybe you'll be lucky enough to find your grail. This is the book that you've always wanted but you've never been able to have. These opportunities come maybe because of price, rarity, or just that obscure book that nobody ever knew about. Also guys, if you liked the video and you appreciate these tips, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below. So this is Mad Mikey from Username Nerd News saying, use these tips, start your collection, and enjoy comics. Okay? Don't be afraid to switch. Paperverse Online.
And action!
Okay, stop. Don't go to the next YouTube video or channel or skip or don't do anything. Real quick, 5 seconds. We have 3 different channels. Please subscribe to them. Username Nerd News, Username Nerd Comics, Username Nerd Games. We have separated them out into 3 ones. Choose all of them or just one to subscribe to. You'd love it. I promise you, we'll give you great content. It'll show up in your feed. You'll love it. Just real quick click. It doesn't take but a few seconds. You'd be awesome. Thank you.